Hi, this is Sarah Jane from Vaporizers.com. We're back today with another review. Today we've got with us the AirRiser Air, which is a brand new product that we're going to review for the first time today. And the AirRiser comes with, you've got the instruction manual, the warnings about charging, some Wildflower charging unit, the actual vaporizer unit itself, and the smoke cartridges. I love them for this. Thank you, AirRiser. You get a carrying case and silicone protector for your unit, as well as additional glass tubes. The one thing I do notice is if you add the silicone case, the heat on the top part is greatly reduced. Make sure you have the AirRiser fully charged before your first use. The little button on the back is where you put in the charger. You plug in. And notice how the little green button starts flashing. When it's flashing, that indicates it's charging. When it stops flashing and it's a solid green, that means the unit is fully charged and ready to use. When the battery is low, the indicator for charge will glow red. To turn the AirRiser on, you just simply hold down the middle of the up-down button right here for 3 seconds. And you'll hear it make a little beeping sound, and then a blue light comes on. To set the temperature on the AirRiser, you just push the button up or down. Blue is the lowest setting, so we go white next highest, green, yellow, and red. When the little light on the bottom stops flashing, it's reached the desired temperature. So it keeps flashing, flashing. There we go, it's ready to use. To turn off the unit, you just hold down, same as you would turning it on, for 3 seconds until you hear it beep. To recall the last used temperature setting, you just hold the arrow down key for 2 seconds until you reach the setting that you last used. Now, if you're trying to be discreet and you want to turn off that little beep, you can just hold the up-down arrow key for 2 seconds and it'll turn the beep off. Another feature of the AirRiser is that if you don't want to wait on the battery to finish charging, you can just simply change the battery by unscrewing the bottom, pop in a new battery, and you're good to go. It's important to note on the first use, they recommend to heat up the unit on a higher setting for a few minutes before you insert the glass stem. This will make it go in easier. The AirRiser shuts off after 10 minutes of use. To load, they actually recommend just getting some of your material, ground up, and just put it in there. And just suck. Temperature setting 1 delivers a pretty smooth light vape with a nice taste. Let's try setting number 2. Delivers a thicker vape. You still have a good flavor. On a personal note, for vaping flowers, I would say setting 1 or 2 is probably perfect. We'll try setting 3 and see if it isn't too hot. On setting 3, you get a really, really thick vapor. It's not really harsh, which is a good thing, but you do lose a little bit of the flavor that you would get. I wouldn't go much higher than setting 3 on a personal note. It starts to get a little warm in the hand, just right around the black part on setting number 3, but nothing that makes me want to like throw it across the room. And the lower part of the unit stays cool. You get a very thick vapor with setting number 4 on the yellow setting. The unit gets very warm on the upper part. It gets a little harsh. I really wouldn't recommend this setting for vaping. You lose a lot of the flavor, especially if you're wanting a cool, nice smoke. I would really recommend the lower setting. So we're at the red setting, the very hottest setting. I wouldn't recommend holding the unit up by the black part. It gets very warm up here. Definitely want to hold it down on the silver part where it stays nice and cool for usage on any temperature setting. Well, if you want to totally kill all of your terpenes, there is setting number 5. I think the higher settings, the red and the yellow setting, are definitely more for potpourri. I wouldn't recommend them for vaping. Now for my favorite part, vaping the essential oils. Now the instructions say to load the essential oils, to just put the oil on a cotton ball and swipe right here, which works fine if you've got like a CO2 oil or a very terpy holy water. If you're using shatter, what I would just recommend, just take the smallest little piece, you don't need to overload, and you want to do it on a very low temperature setting, setting 1 or setting 2. So the blue or the white setting is what you want to do, and just put it in there like you would anything else. Now it's important that the unit is preheated before you load in your oil. Just load in, setting 1. That is very, very tasty. I really like setting 1 for the oils. Like I said, you want to do the blue setting or the white setting, especially if you want to preserve all the terps with the oils and keep the most flavor. For a potpourri burner, the AirRiser Air is okay. I wouldn't go out and replace your household potpourri burner with it. It does create a nice light scent. It's good for emergency situations like when you're on the road, if you want to bring a little potpourri with you, if you just made the room smell nice and dank and you're in a hotel room and you need it to smell floral again. Definitely the AirRiser can assist you with that, but you're going to need some time to do that. It's not going to be a quick process. It's probably going to take at least a half hour to 45 minutes. Some of the pros of this unit are it's very portable, it heats up fairly quickly, it keeps cool on the body, and it has a very nice flavor on the low temperature settings. Some of the things I dislike about the AirRiser are the top gets way too hot on the higher temperature settings, and the higher temperature settings are not good for vaping anything at all. Another function I'm not so keen on is this can be a little bit clumsy right here. I'm a little bit more worried about taking this with me, even if I have the case. I'm still afraid I'm going to bang this on something when I set it down. One of my dislikes is that you're only able to use the charger that comes with the unit. So if you accidentally leave it at a friend's house or a hotel, you have to buy another one. My biggest complaint with the AirRiser would have to be the instruction manual. The instruction manual was a little vague on certain parts. It left out whether how long you could expect the unit to run for. This concludes my review of the Air by AirRiser. I'm Sarah Jane, and you can find the AirRiser and other great vaporizers for sale on vaporizers.com.